William thought for a moment, his brow furrowed, his roguishly handsome jaw making men and women swoon as he pondered the What?
Okay. Hello. Ignore the narrator. I'm William Gallagher. This is the 58 Keys writing workshop set of videos. And the idea is that I show you I happen to write something. And then you, as a writer, please disagree with me in the comments. We have a chat, writer to writer. This time about narrators.
As I was saying, handsome, thoughtful...
No, I can't bear that. I can't bear that. Just enough with the narration.
No one else is going to say this.
I'm going to change my mind at the end of this. Okay, a little bit, tiny bit. I'm going to allow for the changing of my mind at the end of it. But right at the front, I want to say this to you and declare this. Narrators are lazy. I don't mean the narrators themselves. I mean writers who use narrators tend to do it for poor reasons. Only tend to. I mean, you can argue with any novel. You're being told, Fred walked across to the shed window and looked out and decided to murder. So who is telling me that story? Well, it's kind of a narrator, an omniscient and all-seeing, all-powerful narrator who can nip between characters, who can go in the heads and all of this stuff. But I, as a reader, almost always just want to know who is telling me this story and why. Narrators that are, out and out narrators, particularly in films when you have voiceover nonsense and stuff like that, it is pretty much always done out of laziness. It is so much easier to say, William was thinking about coffee, than it is to show me going, actually, it's amazing, isn't it, when you watch actors, how they're able to convey that they're thinking about coffee or whatever. It's just, I don't know how they do it. But as a writer, I would say, they go get some coffee or something like that. And I would work backwards as a viewer or a reader or whatever. When you have a narrator set up something, sorry, this just flashed into my head right now. I went to see a film once. It was like a press release thing, but it was a computer company that had issued the invitations because they said the first 90 seconds, totally computer generated by us. Gotta see this. And it's like 3 or 4 of us went there, small screening room. We're in the back row and the credits start running and the film starts. The first 90 seconds are what's called a crawl. In Star Wars, the way you had that little thing, the letters going off into the distance. That's like 3 or 4 paragraphs. This was 90 seconds of text running straight up. And yeah, true, it was all computer generated, or as I thought at the time, typed. But I looked at it and thought, we're stuck here for 90 minutes. I'm going to enjoy this, am I? And because it was like a press screening, we'd been invited, and also we're all in the back row, so couldn't easily get out, and because there were ham sandwiches afterwards, we sat through one of the worst films of my life. But I can't actually remember if I had a narrator, but I'm in general anti-narrator, except in one very specific situation, which happens to be a situation that I love. I mean, that is not too strong a word, it's too weak a word. I love the unreliable narrator.
I see. Saying you're handsome wasn't unreliable enough then?
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I can't sustain that because you can see me, but a narrator who is lying to us, I cannot get enough of that. A narrator who's just kind of misremembering things, who's putting a positive spin on something, pretty good. A narrator who doesn't know that they are lying to us, oh, excellent. A narrator who is lying to us, who knows they're lying to us, but thinks we're being fooled, oh, just absolutely incredibly good. I just eat that stuff up. I find it remarkably difficult to write, but in that case, the narrator, I think the narrator is a weapon in a way. Certainly the narrator is a character in the story. It isn't just William went to get some coffee because he'd been thinking about it earlier and things like that. You need a reason why the narrator's there, and a common reason is that the narrator is one of the characters. I'm talking about narration now, and you do get it in novels, but it is more of a film and TV thing. So, for example, this TV series that I've suddenly blanked on the name on, Gossip Girl, which had a narrator for every one of its, is it 4 or 5 seasons worth of episodes before we found out who the Gossip Girl character was. But we knew from the start that it was one of the characters we were following for it. That was superbly well done, I thought. Or it's an American show, another one comes to mind, How I Met Your Mother. I like that. I thought its later series became drama more than comedy, but it always began with the main character, Ted, a version of him from the far future, talking to his kids about what had happened, and then we do it. And actually that show made a point of showing what the narrator wasn't saying, or things that hadn't happened, or a gorgeous moment. I particularly, out of all those episodes, this reminds me, it stands out to me. Older Ted is telling his kids about a particular girlfriend younger Ted had, and he can't remember her name. After, I mean, it's like 20 years later. He can't remember this person he went out on 2 dates with, or whatever it was. So when we flash back to the present day and the younger Ted introduces this woman to his friends as, and this is blah, blah stuff. And I don't know why, that just tickled me and stuck with me. Playing with the form, with narration. I think it's very difficult. I think it's incredibly effective. I think it's exciting. And I think one of the reasons it's exciting is that ordinary narration, William went to get coffee, is so poor. So, no narrators, ever, unless they're lying to us. And I'm not going to say that I'm lying to you, but I did say at the start that I'm going to allow for a change of mind, and it's just this, The Shawshank Redemption. It has a narrator. Now, I think actually the narration tells us a lot about the narrator. I think it's not just reading stage directions. I think it is character, but it's very much to the fore of explaining the plot and how people feel more than anything else. More than all the bad stuff that I hate in narration is in The Shawshank Redemption, but it works. So I think it comes down to the old thing of there are no rules in writing, but if you break them. That's it for this, well, partly narrated episode of the 58 Keys Writing Workshop videos. Here's a point where I need you to narrate, or in a talky, typey way, in the comments. Whole point is you and me, writer to writer, having a chat about stuff that matters to us. And you can see I'm quite keen on this topic. Tell me I'm wrong, or tell me I'm right. Let's have a proper discussion below. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Now take care of yourself. Write more, preferably without narrators, but you know, and I'll see you soon.